So Anthony, your show this season has tackled some really powerful subjects. I think the most powerful, arguably, was the episode that tackled police brutality. And what was interesting about that was you did it through this, how do you have those conversations with your children? And I'm curious how the sort of the tone on set and what were the conversations when the cameras were off with both the adult actors, but also there are kids on that show, and on some level those conversations have to be had in that process.
You know, what's interesting, Kenya, who's my partner in this and who created our show, actually wrote that episode based on what was going on in Ferguson. He has 5 children, and he was watching the news with his younger sons, who were maybe 5 and 7 at the time, or maybe a little bit younger. And one of his sons turned to him and said, "Dad, why is everybody so angry?" And, you know, he was forced into that conversation. Before that, how do you have that conversation with your child? And that's what forced him to write this episode.
Oh, is this the guy that got shot in front of the college at the traffic stop?
No, that was Charleston.
No, Charleston was the unarmed guy who got shot in the back. Cincy was the traffic stop.
Oh, wait, then what was New York?
Oh, New York was the unarmed guy who was selling cigarettes. They got choked.
Cigarettes?
Yeah, this is the unarmed guy who was selling DVDs. They got tased 37 times.
Wow, is he okay?
He got tased 37 times. So, you know, he's not great.
Looking at the young actors who play Jack and Diane on our show, those were the same questions that they had, you know, because they were so innocent and so pure, and they're only 10. And it was like, what's going on why everybody's so upset about this? And we had to have real conversations with these young actors about what's going on in the world and why it is important for us to tackle these issues and talk about them. You know, we pride ourselves on dealing with divisive topics on our show that bring people to a table not unlike this, who have differences of opinions and, you know, create that dialogue, and hopefully when we leave this table, we have a better understanding of who sat across from us. I attempted stand-up early in my career at the Comedy Act Theater off of Crenshaw. And it was open mic night, and I went by the name Tasty Tony, the one and only. If there's another, he's a phony.
That is a long name.
Yeah.
But no, that's great.
So I was there by myself. So I'm dealing with my own insecurities. Am I gonna be funny? Oh, no. You know, and so there were 3 comics that went up ahead of me. And I foolishly heckled each comic before I went up. And I was fucking hysterical as a heckler.
Oh, no,
As a heckler,
So
I was hysterical.
Your confidence was up.
Yeah, and I got my biggest laugh as a heckler, and the guy happened to call Tasty Tony, the one and only, up next. And I was like, oh, should I go up? You know, I was like, no, I've already proven that I was funny. I was like, no, that's not why you came here. You came here to tell some jokes, Anthony. So I was like, okay. So I got up and started to walk. And nobody knew who I was. You know, I was just, you know, crazy heckler in the audience. So I get up, and it's a room full of comics. And so I was persecuted as I took the walk to the stage.
Oh, man.
I get on the stage, I grab the mic. The host of the night says, "You better be funny, motherfucker."
Oh, no.
And so before I could get anything out, they turned my mic off. Oh, wow. And I was like, fuck it, I don't need a mic. And so now I'm going back. This is 10 seconds into me being on stage. 15 seconds into me being on stage, they shut my light off.
Oh, no.
So now I'm standing in darkness as everybody is throwing darts at me from the audience. And I walk off, and I go into the bathroom, and I'm shaking uncontrollably. And Guy Torrey, he just happens to walk in, and he looks at me, and he was like, hey, man, and we have no idea who each other are. And he says, hey, man, now you know what not to do the next time you get on stage. Hey, but don't let that stop you. And I was like, okay, cool, thank you. I didn't get on stage again for 4 years after that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.